ground and it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. Yeah, I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground and it go off. Yeah, hit the ground and it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah.
You are looking live the morning show, everybody. Good morning. Welcome, Spencer Israel, JC Parets. Good morning, chat. Hey, trading 7278. That's exactly right. How would you know I was going to say hit the like button? You must be onto something here. Anyway, great show for you today. We'll have Kenny Glick stop by. Brian Lund will be on for the first time this year. And we'll have mornings with Mary, our newest resident CMT. Share us a few of her favorite charts, things that she's been buying or wants to buy, or maybe selling and or wants to sell. Who honestly knows? So that is the plan. Everybody here? Yes? Good? On we go. Where's my intro?
Oh, Spencer Israel, how are you, sir? Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Happy Wednesday to you too.
You know, my kids still think they're starting to question it now. They're 3 and 5, but they've always thought that the camel says hump day, right? Like a cow goes moo, right? A monkey goes ooh ooh ah ah, right? Like the meow for the cat. My kids think it's hump day, so we go to the zoo and we walk past the camels, and my kids are going hump day, and then like other parents are like walking by, just like shaking their heads.
What else does a camel say?
There's a few that are weird, like the moose. So in our house, the moose says moose, but like that's not what a moose says. But in our house, that's what the moose says.
I don't know what a moose says or what a camel says for that matter.
Moose and camel, they like grunt. They're just like
okay, all right. To each their own.
I think. I don't even know.
I don't know.
Anyway, happy hump day, everybody.
Yeah, indeed. Let's jump right into it. Things are pretty quiet this morning. Shout out Silver again. We didn't talk about
natural gas. Natural gas ripping this morning.
Oh, natural gas is admittedly not on my charts. Let's pull it up.
You could tell which cycles Spencer's traded through and which ones he has.
Natural gas is up 5%. Okay, that's a good morning. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Made a new low yesterday, but okay.
Why don't we get to it? We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, sure. Let's get into it.
Things happening. Big things.
Things are happening.
All right, ladies and gents, what do we got? We got the Dow futures up a ton this morning, 0.1% for the Dow futures. That's 65 points to the upside for the Dow. New all-time highs, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who follow the world's most important index. It closed yesterday at the highest levels ever, going back all the way to the 1800s. It was wild. S&P 500 futures, 0.0. Doing nothing this morning. NASDAQ 100 futures down almost 0.25%, down 51 points. Big day yesterday for all of these. The S&P 500 new all-time highs. The QQQ nowhere near it, right, as we've gotten this correction from technology. Q's really looking like the XLK. 30-year bond futures up 0.75% this morning. Rates coming off, 116 for the 30s. We got crude oil down 0.5%, 680. We got copper down almost 2%, back under 6, 595 for copper. Gold down 1%, 44.50. Silver down 4.5%, 77.30. With the VIX still above 15, which is kind of wild to me. We got BTC down 1,700 points. 1,700 points for the old funny money. Getting hit today. We got Ethereum 32.14, hanging in there pretty well. Better than the BTC. The ETH BTC ratio has had quite the last couple of weeks. And total crypto market cap, Mr. Spencer Israel, 3.125. How do we feel about this morning's futures?
Sorry, did you see that the Qs are looking like the XLK? Is that did I hear that right?
Yeah, it looks just like it.
That's big if true.
Are you saying master of the obvious over here?
I mean, I'm looking at a chart of the Qs with the XOK overlaid in, and they look pretty identical.
Well, there's a reason for that. Remember that the Qs are 54% technology, and the XLK is 100% technology.
That would do it, wouldn't it?
That would do it. Here, I'll tell you right now what it is. We have the data. The QQQ is officially, last I checked, it was like 54. Let's see, 54.69 and climbing.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That'll do it. That'll do it. They should look alike.
They should indeed, and they do. Amazing.
Here's something big that nobody's talking about. Nobody wants to talk about these guys ever. Slide 2, sir. This is the one. This is the one. This is the one.
Oh.
Mid caps never getting any love. You got those mid caps on your scan there, Spencer?
Well, no, but I do look at every morning. We send out the ETF power rankings, and the thing that I'm mostly looking at is like here. I'll put the table in the deck, but where are all the larges, the mids, and the smalls on the table? So I'm just kind of curious and seeing. So like right now, for example, small caps are mostly at the bottom, large caps are mostly at the top.
At the top of what?
The sector ETFs. Actually, mids aren't even on the table, which goes to show how little anybody cares with the mid caps. So
listen, these are really important stocks in my opinion, and I learned this by talking with some of the old timers. These are guys that traded in the 60s and the 70s, in some cases even before that. Late 50s, even a couple of my mentors. So to a T, all of them. When they talk about their biggest winners of all time, they came from the mid caps, right? Because what ends up happening is that the companies that are in the mid caps are bigger than small caps. So they've essentially like proven themselves to a certain extent where they can exceed certain thresholds, but they're not quite at the large cap level yet. They're not getting all that praise. They're not there. They're not getting the flow, right? So there's a lot of upside there. Right. So the mid caps are a really special part of the market. And, I've always thought about the mid caps, right or wrong, but it's worked well for me as kind of like the median stock and the equally weighted S&P 500. Right. So like to me, when I categorize all these different indexes, I personally, right or wrong, but just being honest, I group mid caps with the S&P 500 equally weighted index and also the value line geometric index, which is the median stock. To me, this is the trio of that. I don't want to say average Joe, but kind of.
All right. Okay. So here's a question: are all three of those prongs, are they equally weighted members of the Three Musketeers? Of the average Three Musketeers. That's what we're calling them, right?
Yeah, that's probably right.
Yeah. They're all equally important.
Value line still hasn't made all-time highs, but it did make new 52-week highs yesterday.
So if you want to know what the average stock is doing, look at the value line geometric, look at the equal weight, and look at the mid cap.
Yeah, because you get different things, right? You're getting the equally weighted stock in the S&P 500.
Right.
And then in the value line, you're getting the median stock in their value line composite, which I believe is 1,700 stocks, 1,700 something. So you're getting a lot there. And then the mid caps are the Jan Brady's, right? They're stuck in the middle with you.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's how I think about it. And that's been helpful. Just zoom out though, just for perspective on the next chart there. Not a downtrend.
Are you saying stocks generally go up? Wow.
I'm just saying.
We're on one today.
In case anybody was wondering, right? So
yeah.
Right? Strazza's here. We got Strazza in the house. Come on in. Come on in, buddy. Tell us what you think.
By the way, slide 5 when you get a chance, Fonz. Never forget when Elizabeth Banks went on TV to promote mid-cap stocks. That was fun. That was
Dude, that's so long ago.
2018, 2019, 20. Who knows anymore? Anyway, that's how unloved mid caps are. They had to hire a famous actress to promote them, and I don't even think it worked. So
that was a commercial for the mid caps.
That was a commercial. State Street went out and hired famous actress to tell the world how cool mid cap stocks are, and nobody cared.
The financial industry used to make a lot of great commercials, and I feel like that's all but ended.
Yeah.
Like with Nasdaq, they do a good job still, but I wouldn't even know who else.
Well,
Do you remember
Nasdaq,
the E-Trade baby, man.
Na-
Legend.
Baby was amazing.
Steve, Nasdaq has to, right? Well, actually, no, not going forward. They're not going to have to, but in the past they've had to, because remember the Qs are a trust, and they have to spend. They can't make money from that. They have to spend that money on marketing. That's why the Qs every March Madness, the Qs are everywhere, because they have to spend all that money like that.
I didn't realize
the
that
expense ratio is. They got to spend the money. So that. Where else are going to spend
but
it?
Nasdaq is a for-profit company.
No, but the Qs are a trust, right? Is a trust. Qs are. Qs is a trust. So they can't make money from it. That's about to change, because they're doing this whole vote that I'm getting hounded on every other day.
By the way, the Nasdaq NDAQ new all-time highs yesterday.
There chart looks incredible. Yeah, I mean that's been a big leader out there.
Listen, can we throw up slide 2 there? We got Steve Strazza in the house wearing his 4-leaf clover shirt. How appropriately so, sir. How appropriately, sir. So, Ireland, new all-time highs.
Wait, are we about to invade them too?
Looking good. No, that's just Greenland.
That's just Greenland? Okay.
Are we taking over Greenland?
We are, JC.
Oh,
This knows that's not Iceland, right? It's 2 different places.
It looks super pretty, though. It looks like the pictures look so cool.
So in Ireland, you're getting 30% financials, 29% industrials. So 2/3 of the index is financials and industrials. And, well, financials and industrials are making new all-time highs. Can you actually throw up the trannies there, slide 5?
Sweet flag in the EIRL, Jason.
Monster confirmation.
Wait, JC, quick question. Do you know what the market cap of Ireland is? Can you tell me that? If you haven't handy?
It's probably a lot, because there's a lot of companies in there that do, like, there's some kind of tax loophole there. There's probably more than you think.
All right, that's okay. Fine.
Like, isn't like Lund based there or something?
All right, that defeats the purpose of what I was asking.
Maybe,
but it says here they got $1 trillion, trillion 1.1.
Wow. All right. Well, if Stripe ever IPOs, they're a tenth of that. So they're 100 billion.
Okay, so that'll be a 10% bump in total market cap. That's not nothing, you know. But it just goes to show you, just a kind of for perspective, Ireland. Now, Ireland is part of the greater European, markets, and those are making new all-time highs, right? This is just part of it.
Yeah,
so it's not that surprising. Yesterday, Strazza. I remember a couple months ago, Spencer laughing at me, literally like giggling like a little schoolgirl about my transportation stocks. He was laughing at me, Strazza. Can you believe that?
I laugh at
there's a lot of things working out here. They are boring stocks.
Yesterday.
You like them a lot.
Yesterday, the Dow Jones Transportation Average and the Dow Jones Industrial Average both closed at a new all-time high. Sir, is that bearish?
No, but the Dow Transportation Average is not an important thing. There's 20 stocks in it that are not critically important to the economy anymore.
All right, listen,
it's just another industrial subgroup.
Strazza likes to act like the old guy when it's convenient. When it's convenient, when he's doing his pool exercises, he's playing his golf. He's doing Strazza things, but when it comes to being old school here, where it pays, Steve Strazza decides, no, JC, you be the old guy. I will be the young man telling everybody that this don't matter. Let me tell you something, folks. You bet your ass this matters. You bet your ass this matters.
It's a fun exercise, but how important
fun.
Is it really? I don't know. You know that. Come on.
Dude, you're so full of shit. Don't listen to him. All of you out there, he's so full of it. This is so important. And by the way, this isn't a buy signal. This is literally confirmation of all of the other things that we're seeing, which is maybe part, plays a role in what Strazza's saying. He's like, yeah, JC, a lot of things are working because it's a bull market. Fine. He's not wrong there. You're not wrong. This is just further confirmation. Just like mid caps, right? Is it a surprise mid caps are making all-time highs? No, right? But that's further confirmation. Same thing, I think.
Yes.
When the value line index makes a new all-time high, will that be surprising? Probably
Market
not.
looks great.
That would
Market
be
looks
further
great.
confirmation. That's all.
Broadening of participation. Love to see it. This is like a trader's paradise. There's a lot of different things you could do out here. A lot of different ponds you could fish in. Transports, and the SMIDs are now among them.
By the way, just because the mids and the transports are making new highs doesn't mean that you need to buy mid-cap stocks or transports. That's not what that means. It's further confirmation that we should be spending our time looking for stocks to buy, not looking for stocks to short. That's what that means to me. Doesn't mean you got to buy the trannies. Strazza says they're too boring. All right.
Yeah.
I don't think they're too boring. Strazza, you like boring stocks too sometimes. Strazza just gets butthurt because they don't have a lot of liquid options markets in some of these stocks.
Yes, that's a problem for the transport. But no, I'm not against owning transportation stocks. I'm okay with it.
What's your favorite pond right now?
Probably still speculative growth.
Speculative growth. Up the cap scale, the big guys.
Up the cap scale, I mean financials. It's hard not to be looking at financials for new opportunities here.
New all-time highs: J.P. Morgan, Goldman Sachs.
Yeah, and I think
American Express.
Yeah, but like those, we've been in those. They've been great. I think it's time for the regionals finally, for a big catch-up move, especially like the super regionals. The U.S. banks, regions, financials. You got some nice dividends there as well. Yeah, I was looking at some of these materials companies yesterday. 8.5% yield in Dow. Why even own bonds? 12% in something like FMC, I think. Oh no, they cut it. I guess it's a lot lower now. We found out. But some of these yields in the large cap material space, really, really nice. Really, really nice. You can find them stuff out there. So my favorite space right now is a handful of spaces. So that's pretty cool. But the speculative growth stocks are starting to moon again.
Listen, I'll tell you this. We've seen such massive underperformance from this space. Just for perspective, just large cap tech. Large cap tech peaked on a relative basis right around Halloween. Right? Yeah. Just massive underperformer since Halloween. So we're going on a little over 2 months of underperformance from technology. Now, semiconductors closed at a new all-time high relative to the S&P 500 yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So when we talk about technology underperformance, semis are not part of that conversation, right? Semis all-time relative highs yesterday.
But it's bifurcated. Yeah. Yes. But where's Broadcom not making new highs? Where's NVIDIA not making new highs? Where's AMD not making new highs? So unless you're in like KLA, LRCX, like some of these other ones, the big ones, the big names, not at new highs like the index.
New 3-month lows yesterday for the Magnificent 7 ETF relative to the S&P. New 3-month lows yesterday.
Yep. No, look, there's stuff that you could do in tech. You see Amazon finally getting a big breakout here for Amazon. I think that matters for the tech trade. I think Microsoft is just dying to get up off the floor here and rip back towards those old highs. I think software is definitely the single most interesting space. Software stocks are trading at generational low multiples. The multiple compression.
You'd rather buy the shit software than the outperforming semis.
They're not shit. These are still the best companies in the world.
I don't know about all that.
Haven't changed. Here's what happened. There's a scary narrative about AI eating software in the future. So they took the discounted cash flow models for these companies, and now they're discounting them at whatever it is, a higher rate, and cash flow's not as far out in the future. So companies that used to trade at 30x multiple are now trading at 15. It's the same fucking business that it was 6 months ago, 12 months ago, when it was trading at 30x. But now they just want to pay less for it. If that narrative starts to fade, like we've seen a million times for this, they missed AI trade or AI is eating their lunch kind of situation. If that narrative finally fades, they're going to get re-rated higher again. Nothing needs to change for the underlying fundamentals. The stock prices will simply just go up. That's what's coming for software. They've just overdone it to the downside here. They're not shit at all.
What's your
Best
favorite one?
companies in the world.
Salesforce, now.
Hmm?
Salesforce. What's your favorite one?
Probably Salesforce. Adobe. Adobe's hanging on at a big level right now.
Why don't
I
we go?
think
Why don't we go
Microsoft.
Israel?
By Microsoft, you know?
Why don't we
I
go
was
Israel?
this close, JC. Speaking
New
of tech,
all-time highs yesterday for Israel.
I was this close to getting on a plane last night and going to Las Vegas and would be at the Consumer Electronics Show today. I think
Are
I
you
made a
serious?
mistake. I think I made a mistake. I think I made a big mistake. Yeah. Yeah, because you know I've always wanted to go too.
Have you?
Yeah. Got invited, but just I need to be in front of my screens, especially this week. It's been such a hot, fast market. We just can't walk away from it. You know, we got to cancel things to stay home and be in front of the screens more, not schedule things to get us away from the screens. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
What
can't do
about
that.
what about this cyber arc?
No.
Israeli.
Yeah.
No?
I don't own it.
Look at that chart. If you're looking to buy a pullback,
And
or what about that checkpoint? Little double bottom on that checkpoint. I mean, don't
yeah,
we
why are
want to
you
be
giving
looking
me
at
is-
Israeli?
Why are you only throwing out Israeli cybersecurity names?
Because
Checkpoint-
if you want to buy software, why don't we just buy the software from the best country?
well, that would be the United States.
It would not. It would absolutely not
Clearly.
be. Dude, Israeli
the
software
best-
is so much hotter than U.S. software.
The best tech companies are
US
not in the
software
United
sucks.
States, bro. Just kill me now. Not having this discussion with you.
Dude, look at the Israeli software stocks and then look at the biggest American ones. Tell me
know,
that the Israeli ones don't look 1,000 times better, dude.
I don't. What are you talking about? The best tech stocks in the United States, I'll take any day over the best tech stocks in
Dude,
Israel. Any
Let's
one
bring
way.
Kenny Glick on. Bring him out. We got Brian Lund in the house too.
This is crazy talk, okay? Crazy
Israeli
talk. Talking shit about U.S. tech
hater,
stocks.
bro.
Unbelievable.
Dude.
It's been a long time coming. They ain't come from my club, they tug it. Putting up numbers, 99 pounds, and I still kept it 100. Hold up. Yeah.
Kenny Glick, can you bring some logic to the room here? Crazy talk from this guy. Crazy talk.
I got nothing for you today.
Nothing's moving?
No, I got. If anybody uses Primo Water Services and gets water delivery, cancel it. It's a scam company. They've been charging me, and I can't get off auto pay. I've been on hold with these guys for like an hour and 55 minutes. So I called Chase to try to get them to cancel it. And they're like, well, no, we can't do that because we can't contact this company. I'm like, am I in fucking limbo right now? What the fuck are you talking about? Just cancel my credit card. I'm shutting down everything. I'm in a tizzy right now. So, and by the way, when you're in a tizzy, don't trade.
No,
So-
this is good advice. You know, I have been in tizzies in the past, and that's great. I hadn't really thought of it like that, but yeah, if you're in a tizzy, don't trade.
Yeah, I'm not thinking right.
You're not
right
thinking
now.
logically. You're very frustrated.
Yeah, I mean, if I threaten to show up to the company with a submachine gun, is that an act of violence, or am I just? It's pantomime, right? It's spoof. It's spoof when I threaten.
That is definitely not allowed. I was doing a little step lower. You know, our garbage people weren't picking up our garbage. I was gonna take the garbage and put it on their front step, all of it, and I had a ton. And my wife talked me out of. I don't know if I was actually gonna do that, but man, I was ready to go, and I was in quite the tizzy. And in hindsight, that would have been a bad idea to trade in that state of mind.
Right. All right. The last person I spoke to, I was like, stop right there. English is not your first language, right? Give me somebody that knows what I'm talking about. Sorry, I don't want to be that guy, but I'm that guy right now. Give me somebody that understands the words
Yeah,
that
you
are
say
coming
representative.
Right.
And my kids start
listen,
yelling from the other room,
and
representative.
by the way, never order something where a company doesn't have a customer service phone number either. If it's just email, it's a scam. It's a scam. I cannot believe I actually got I ordered a jersey, but my jersey, it actually showed up. I can't believe it. You guys remember a company called Wish? I think it was wish.com. I forgot what it was, but it was so great. What a business model this was. I ordered something, right? And it was like 6 months later. It never came. I called the credit card company. They actually sent me the money back. And a year and a half later, the product showed up at my house.
Dude, I'm pretty sure we still use Wish in this house.
That's still a thing. Wish.
Hey,
Yeah.
Kenny, while we have you, just kind of generally speaking, New Year, you know, first real week of the year, kind of
Yeah.
like, Tizzy aside, kind of just take a step back, bigger picture. Are you thinking any differently this week and next week versus kind of like how you were thinking, in that December weird stop and go period?
Yeah, I've done my recalculation of where I think the Dow Jones is going to be. 2.3 million in 18 months.
2.3 million. All right, it's under 50,000. So we got
50,000 by Friday, and then we're gonna quadruple within the next 18 months, and then we're gonna go parabolic. Because look at this pace, where are we going from here, right?
So I mean, I'm that would be good for my family.
Yeah,
I think we do very well in that environment. So I'm not going to be mad at that.
Right. Well, all kidding aside, I mean, the money pouring into the market these last 3 days is otherworldly.
Is it? You think so?
You're just it's just absolutely incredible. And it just, again, I was just talking about this with Dennis Stick and Joel yesterday morning. Just sit back and let it work. Don't do a lot less right now. When earnings start to come in, we start getting some gaps. And I'm also curious now how these gaps are going to react, because we're basically open 24/5 now, right? The market doesn't close. So I want to see how these gaps start to work their way through, if there's a lot of overnight action. But man, I am just letting these trades work. I got into the drone stocks and just sat there and watched them go up all day. We got into some, the quantum stocks. There was just money pouring in from every angle yesterday, and there was a constant flow. You didn't even have the midday lull. It was just the scanners are going off. I mean, it was just one thing after another. And we did find a couple of short opportunities, which was nice.
How many scanners were going off, Kenny?
Every scanner. Every scanner was screaming at me. It was absolutely absurd yesterday. But you know what? It's great. I mean, like I said, I've been saying this for the last couple of years, especially since COVID. COVID basically brought this industry back. Day trading was kind of getting boring, and it was in a lull, and it was kind of fading. And man, when we were trapped in our houses and everybody became traders again, it has just been building and building and building and building from there. And now with all the crypto maniacs out there, some of them are realizing, oh wow, this is just a bunch of air that we're trading. They're graduating to the real market right now.
So what do you think? You think that's adding liquidity?
Yes, I think it is adding liquidity, and that's what's making it's less risky. For me, again, day trading has become less risky than any version, because at least you're in the moment. So if something's going right, you're in that moment. You could take that profit, and you don't have the overnight risk. And again, right now, there is no overnight risk. I remember on Fridays, I'd be nervous over the weekend. Oh, I hope nothing bad happens.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Now,
me too.
Nothing matters. Nothing matters. Me and my father were talking about the Venezuela thing, and I was like, you think the market's going to be down? Sure, it'll be down on Monday. Right. And again, like after the Iran-Israel rocket launch night, and we didn't go down the next day, what is left except, oh, look, an actual nuclear cloud's coming our way. We'll probably go down for 3 days, or maybe Godzilla. Godzilla shows up, knocks down some buildings. But of course, they'll have people wearing, "We love Godzilla. Ooh, smash me." And there'll be a Godzilla revolution rally. It would be fantastic. This bull market is becoming, it's supernatural at this point.
So, okay. So then let's take the other side. What's it going to take for you to, because you could change your mind by the open. I mean, realistically, by lunch, you could be in a different mindset. Like, what are you looking for to start putting on some Q shorts?
Well, not the Q short, but the financials. So next week, when we start getting the banks coming out, if the banks gap up and give up,
you're fading that move,
right? If they do give up the gaps, well, first of all, if they gap down and find strength, we're good. I mean, this market's going to rally for another.
Got it. So if the banks after earnings gap down, you buy that dip all day for the mean reversion back up, and if they gap up, that's exhaustive, and you fade it.
Right, because they're all coming out. They're all coming in at all-time highs. So if
these are intraday trades, everybody keep in mind these are intraday trades.
Sure, right. If they gap and roll, that might give us an indication of some weakness. But how long is the weakness going to last? We've been having this conversation. What will a bear market look like at this point? A week?
I'll tell you. No, it'll last quarters. And you're going to see fewer stocks making new highs. You're not going to see the mid caps making new highs for the first time since 2024. You're not going to see the transports breaking out to new all-time highs the same day as the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Like, you're not going to be seeing all these things.
Right.
You're going to be seeing none of those things, right? You're going to see fewer stocks making new highs. You're going to see more stocks making new lows. Remember, for us to have a bear market or correction of any kind, stocks needs to fall in price. So then look and see how many stocks are actually falling in price. So
Right.
those are the things you'll see. You'll see defensive rotation. You'll see consumer staples starting to outperform. You're not seeing any of those things.
Right.
You'll see those things, whether it's a war or a recession or a bubble or whatever it is that they're saying these days. It's always something, right? Whatever it is these days, it could be that, but you'll see it in the price behavior of the components of the asset class.
Sure. And to your point, if I'm going to look for some shorts, it has to break. We have to start breaking prior day VWAP and prior day lows. We're not seeing that. So again, it's a very simple concept. Momentum trading is the first trading we all learned. Stock break prior day high, let's go. And that's the market we're in right now. So it's fantastic. I'm not gonna fight it. Again, that's what ruined my my couple of years in 2012 and 2013. I kept fighting the trend and I paid for it. I'm not going to fight. As cynical and bearish and jaded as I am, I'm enjoying this. Again, why not? My dad's 81. He's still rocking and rolling with the Qs. So let's go all the way. Put another 10%, and then we'll see where we are in March. That's what I really think is going to happen. I think we tack on 10% to start the year, and then we'll coast. We'll see what goes on.
Are you done? Are you officially done with college football after Georgia lost, or are you going to be watching tomorrow night? You think we got a shot?
I'm trying to find my champion sweatshirts. They're down in my basement somewhere. I had friends that went down. I remember Joe Robbie Stadium. I used to go there. I had a lot of
childhood, bro.
I had a lot of fun back in the day.
I saw Walter Payton at the Joe Robbie Stadium.
But I wish it wasn't Carson Beck. I can't stand the guy's face. Plus, he's the ex-Georgia quarterback. So, but you know what? I'm rooting for him. I don't want to root against Scagnetti or what his name is from JMU. What amazing turnaround in Indiana right there. But a little depressed that Florida beat the crap out of Georgia basketball last night. So that's where I'm at.
It's basketball season for you. I understand that.
I'm looking at basketball.
That's me.
I'll tell you something. You want a stock, friends? How about a comeback story of the day? NAVN. Let's go, people. This IPO came out. Nobody cared about it. It didn't even open up at the IPO price. The IPO price was 25. The stock opened up 22.75 and went down for 12 straight days. They just reported earnings about 6 days ago. They had a faux show, bro. Earnings.
What's the ticker symbol?
NAVN. It was just a lost IPO, kind of like Jenny. But there's been some steady buying since the capitulation on earnings day. I bought some more, and we're right here. We're at that big pivot point at 17.75. We can get over there. We got a chance to get back into the 20s, and this could be the stock that everybody was talking about. It was pretty hyped up at one point, and then just completely nobody cared. And it's on a nice little run right now. So I'm watching NAVN. I'm still in this thing. Just waiting to see if it breaks out today. And I'm loving the drone stock. I'm going to be talking to
this is an interesting one. Hold up, Kenny, on the NAVN. Yeah. So that's guys, look it up. It's a $4 billion software stock. So we're talking about rotation into software here potentially. Strazza certainly pounding the table. American software. This is that. Midcaps just broke out to new all-time highs. This is a $4 billion midcap stock, right? So
NAVN's
nice, and then a nice bullish momentum divergence there on the new lows post-IPO. Nice call out there, Kenny, for real.
Thanks. I think it's Israeli, actually.
No, it's American.
Really?
I mean, I'm sure they have Israeli, developers, right? But they are Palo Alto, according to the data.
I gotta double check it. Yeah. I think you might be right. But I
don't know anything, but it's what it says here. It's Palo Alto.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Palo Alto, pretty hardcore software there.
Yeah, you know who I'm going to have on? Scott, what's it, Ackercheck from Rec Shares?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'm going to have him on. I want to talk about, again, I'm interested, in how these ETFs get formed. And, again, I think it'd be kind of cool conversation to have him on the schmooze.
Nice.
Yeah. Because I'm interested. And plus, now that I own this thing, I might as well get to familiar. I've always wanted to know, how do you just create? I want to create an ETF. If it's
I'll walk you through the process. I know it very well. I've looked into it for a lot, and man, the margins are way worse than you think. Holy shit! You got to raise $1 billion, and maybe you make $1 million.
I gotcha. I wanted
to study. It's a tough business, man.
I want to just start the jaded ETF, or there must be a Vice ETF, right? Just
yeah.
Gambling.
Talk offline. I'll fill you in, Kenny. I'll fill you in.
All right.
I got you.
Well, hopefully this NAVN keeps going. We get back into the 20s. I'm loving it. But I'm looking forward to, Delta Airlines kicks us off next week, and then the banks, and then we are right back talking about Tesla and Netflix. Very excited. Very, very excited. Yeah.
Love it.
So we'll have definitely a lot more names coming forward. But right now, like I said, I'm in a tizzy. So
All right.
I'm
Good luck with your tizzy, buddy. Thanks for dropping by. Appreciate you.
All right. Good luck, everybody. Good
Adios.
seeing you.
I think the Voice ETF got delisted. I think it.
But there's another one that's like that, that has those kinds of stocks. There's
perhaps,
yeah. Oh yeah, they just changed the gaming ETF to the DGen ETF.
Those are just words. It doesn't mean anything.
Just telling you. Yeah. Right. The Van Eck gaming ETF.
ESPO? That one?
No.
Oh, that's esports. My bad.
Gaming.
You meant the other gaming.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Which is the ticker symbol?
There's two gamings.
It's changing to DGen. BJK.
Okay.
BJK turning into the DGen ETF. And this is happening on April the 9th. April the 9th, officially the DGen ETF. These people think you guys are degenerates. That's what they think.
Yeah.
Go show them who's boss.
We will. Hey, we got Brian Lund in the house. Let's bring him out.
Brian Lund. First appearance of the year.
Yo,
Jay, we've been friends for a long time. Make the call.
I mean, this is pretty professional, guys.
Nice show you got going here.
Mr. BC Lund, how are you, sir?
Gentlemen, how are you doing?
It's a new year, baby. You have a good year in 25 or what?
I did. Hey, my condolences to Kenny and his tizzy. I hope he can work through that. I do have a hack for Kenny, though. I'll tell you how you can get an English speaker every time. So you call whatever place you're calling. It says press 1 for English, press 2 for Spanish. You press 2, right? And they pick up the hola, ¿cómo estás? And you say, hey, can you help me with my problem? They'll speak English. They go, yeah, I'll try. I can help you.
Not bad.
That's
not that tough, Kenny. Not that tough.
That's pretty good.
Guy can figure out how to short some crazy parabolic stock. Can't figure out how to get an English speaker.
Or just do what I do. Just yell operator.
Representative.
That's how you do it. That's like a 2000 hack. We're in the modern world, Spencer.
That's totally fair.
Hey, Brian, my kid the other day, futures opened up and I had my phone out. There was a lot of green, and the 3-year-old, he just turned 3 a few months ago, and he tells me, Daddy, that's green like the Incredible Hulk. Just like that. I'm like, yes, it is, son. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And man, I think he's really onto something, this kid.
I feel like your son could probably tell whether the S&P is above the 50 EMA at any moment. I figure he could probably pick out a good varietal if he needed it for dinner.
I got to come out with a book, Technical Analysis for Toddlers,
Dude.
And he knows the whole lineup for the Miami.
You should write a
Hurricanes.
kids book, JC. No joke. You should do that. You should write like a 15-page kids book, hire an illustrator, and that would sell.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
Uncle JC's Guide to Technical Analysis.
Do you know how many kids books I have? I have 100. And people just
I have a lot. We have shelves, multiple floors in my house have shelves.
People just give them to me.
With books.
I don't even ask. They just give them.
Yeah.
Spencer, I envy you. Spencer, you're in this bubble right now that, like, JC's kind of at the edge of the bubble. Like that bubble's way gone for me.
Yeah. What the bubble of a
well, you're in the bubble where you can't go to Target for 2 minutes without taking like a whole, cadre of diapers and things like it's a great time. I know it seems like it's not a great time, but trust me, it's going to go so fast. So enjoy it.
I'm trying.
Hey, by the way, JC, so you and Steve were talking last week. I think you were going on and on about your autographed copies of the Stock Traders Almanac, right, from the great Jeff Hirsch.
Yeah.
I too got one when I was out at Future Proof, and Mr. Jeff Hirsch wrote, "You are the tallest, best-looking guy at Future Proof." Right?
Wow. Wow.
Right? Now, I don't look. I'm not going to say anything, but I know that Jeff Hirsch to be a very honest man.
Yeah.
So I have to say that he's probably
he's very data driven.
Right.
Very data driven, that Jeff Hirsch.
He's very that's right. Data 6'4", that's data. So.
Yeah. So Brian Lund, I look broadly at markets, as you know. So, I see mid caps breaking out to new all-time highs, Dow Transports and Dow Industrials all-time highs on the same day, S&P 500 all-time highs, semis new relative highs, all-time highs. Semis have never outperformed the S&P 500 by more. So the trend there remains up. International markets all over the world, ACWI, ex-US, so just take the United States completely out of the equation, and stock market globally is making new all-time highs, right? So, in
silver,
this kind of environment,
silver all-time highs, gold almost there.
Yeah. So, all of these things are happening. How does someone like yourself, that's a trader, that's more focused on, your universe of equities, right? Like, how do you think about all the things that are happening with your approach?
So next week, I'm going to do a review of the year in 2025, and I'm going to do the 3 things I did right and the 5 things I did horribly wrong, because I think you learn more by doing a post-mortem on what you did wrong and figuring it out. One of the things that I didn't do right last year, early in the year, was I didn't switch to a longer time frame in my trading, right? Like, I'm always looking at intraday charts. I'm always looking at daily charts, but the trends were so good that I probably should have been going to weekly charts, even though I'm a trader, because we would get these moves that would kind of just knock something out for a day, and then the trend would just continue. And so that happened a number of times until I figured that out. Now, I did figure that out. I figured that out actually as we went into the tariff tantrum. And that's kind of how I've been approaching things, is giving them a little bit more latitude, knowing where my risk tolerance is, knowing where I would still get out. So I've been kind of broadening my time frame a little bit, because Kenny's right. I mean, look at IWM yesterday on a 5-minute chart. Okay, once we got through that choppiness in the morning, I put 3 moving averages on my 5-minute charts. I put the 5, the 9, and the 20 intraday, and they're
what period of candles are you looking at? Are you looking at 1s or 10 minutes?
5-minute charts.
You're looking at 5-minute charts.
Yeah. So if you look at the 5 EMA, the 9, and the 20, those are the barometers for the intraday buying or selling and how strong it is.
So this would be 5 and 9 EMA of each 5 of the 5-minute candles.
Yeah, 5, 9, and 20, right? 20 will tell you basically if we're in a trend up or a trend down day, but 9 and 5 will tell you the short-term strength. The IWM did not close on a 5-minute chart below that 5 EMA, the shortest EMA, after it broke out for the rest of the day. Like, I've never seen an index with that. Usually they come back and they touch it at least, or they close the 5, not the 9 or the 20, the 5. So there is money pouring into this market like crazy. And so, yeah, I think one of the things I've been doing is just broadening out my my time frames a little bit, being a little bit more elastic with my trading.
I mean, you got that rip higher in the morning, right? First hour of the day, then it consolidated for a couple hours, and then it went straight up.
Crazy. I mean, all of them did that, but only the IWM stayed above that 5. I mean, you see a stock that's like
Monday wasn't too dissimilar.
Yeah. But I mean, you'll see like a meme stock sometimes rip above the 5 intraday and stay there for a while, but very rarely for an index, and certainly very rarely for IWM. So I think something's happening.
To continue with this exercise of going back the last couple of days and looking at the 5-minute candles in the Russell 2000 IWM, if you go back to Friday, look at that action in the IWM. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Like, holy cow. Total, like, range bound, premium sellers were, if you're selling strangles, you were making a fortune that day. Monday and Tuesday was the complete opposite of that. If you were selling strangles, you got smoked. If you were trend following, you made a fortune. If you were trying to trend follow on Friday, you got chopped up. Terrible. I mean, goes to show you. It's a great exercise, Brian.
Going along with that theme of broadening out your time frames, if you look at the IWM on a daily chart on Friday, and this is what I pointed out to subscribers, it reversed right at the 50 EMA. Okay, so that was a great launching spot if it was going to move, if we were going to get this Santa Claus rally to fall through. So, you've said this before many times. Most arguments can be solved when people just realize they have different time frames. Yeah. But I think
on the old Twitter,
not only, the first thing I always look at is where are we at a risk on, risk off continuum? Are we 0 risk off? Are we 10 risk on? But after that, then it's figuring out what time frames are working for you, for your personality. And so, it changes. And that's the hard part about trading is you get these transition periods where like maybe you got to go to the short time frames because you're in a choppy market. But then sometimes you get in these markets to just go, and you always have to adapt.
Yeah. No, totally with you. So what groups of stocks are you most focused on here?
Well, I think I agree with Steve. I think there's some names like, so if you look at all the indexes, we got the SPX at all-time highs, we got IWM at all-time highs. We've got, IWM's just off all-time highs. Dow's at all-time highs. IWM is the spitting distance. What's lagging, right? The Qs.
You're
Qs
older
are
than
lagging.
me. How do you feel about this Dow? Strazza says that the Dow doesn't matter and the Dow transports don't matter. Are you like me?
Well, I know where you're coming from. You're going to say, they do matter. And I mean, they matter psychologically. There are only 30 stocks. It's hard for me to believe they can matter that much. Make your case that they matter.
Me?
Yeah, you're JC, right?
Make my case that Dow Jones Industrial Average matters.
Yeah, from a real standpoint, not from an optic standpoint, or
yeah. From a real standpoint, you're looking at 30 stock market bellwethers, right? You're getting a lot more cyclical exposure than you are like in the S&P 500 and certainly the Nasdaq, where you have such technology exposure. But nevertheless, if you overlay the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones Industrial Average over one another and go back 75 years, they look exactly the same. If you don't change the color of the lines, then you wouldn't know which one is which. I mean, I do because I'm OCD, so I can tell you which one's the Dow and which one's the S&P, but you wouldn't be able to tell a normal person. So, from a sum of the parts standpoint, you can look at 500 stocks and look at the S&P 500 and get if you get those stocks right, you get the direction of the market right. Or you could do the same thing with 30 stocks and come to the same conclusion, right? So those 30 stocks are really, really important. And when you ask somebody, hey, what did the market do today? They want to know what the Dow did. I mean, that's just what it is, right?
Yeah. So fair point. So we've got SPX, Dow, all-time highs. We got IWM within spitting distance looking a lot better. What's lagging? The Qs. But the Qs, if you just took the Q chart in isolation, you didn't know what the other three indexes are doing, you'd say it looks pretty good right now. So
consolidation within an ongoing uptrend.
Yeah. So I'm kind of with Steve, where I think all we need is those big cap tech names to start kicking in. Like Apple looked horrible yesterday. Tesla's been a little bit rough. But I think if those firm up, I'm looking at Meta, I'm looking at Microsoft, but those aside, the ones that everyone knows about, one that I've been building a position since last year. I think it looks a lot better. Had a great outside bar yesterday is Bros, BROS. Love that. A lot of beaten down names. I think finally Kava may have put in its final bottom. And it's funny because Kava's run a lot in the last few days and people are like, oh, I missed the move. I'm like, dude, the thing was $172 at one point. Like, trust me, if the bottom is in, if that long downtrend is over, you've got plenty of time to get involved. So that's interesting. I think CMG, which is another one that's been some of the beaten down names, look like they're interesting.
Interesting that you bring up the Kava. I mean, this is like the Greek Chipotle or whatever, Mediterranean Chipotle.
Yep.
So you're looking at a $7 billion company. So here you're looking at a mid cap in the consumer discretionary space. This thing got smoked, right? So as it turns out, a Mediterranean Chipotle was a terrible idea. Stock loss, for perspective, from 172 to 40.
Yeah, so we've had this discussion before. I personally think Kava sucks. I'd rather go to a Greek family or Persian family restaurant and get better food there, but I don't care what the product does. That doesn't make me money. It's what the stock does. And yeah, Kava's been a horrible downtrend, but I think maybe the bottom's in. And so if it is, there's a lot of potential upside there.
Yeah, get back to 84. I could see that. Yeah, right now it's in the 60s.
When's somebody going to come out with like a fast casual Cuban food place? That sounds like a great move.
They got a few of them in Manhattan. They're actually pretty good. I'm not going to lie. There's a place called Sophie's. Sophie's isn't bad. Sophie's isn't bad. I mean, it's fast food Cuban, so I mean, it's only going to be so good. But hey, it's not bad. Yeah.
So we've got Porto's out here, which is a family-owned place. They've got about 4 or 5 locations. It's not fast casual, but there's a few of them so good. And it's really funny. I don't know if this is consistent among Cuban food because I don't know a lot about Cuban food. Their baked goods are just off the charts. I mean, is that something in the Cuban tradition? There are a lot of baked goods.
Yeah, the pastelitos de carne, pastelitos de guayaba y queso, the croquetas, so you go into a Cuban bakery, dude, it's nuts, man. and you pay nothing.
Croquettes.
They're giving this shit away.
I thought croquettes were like the meatball, the balls like that are. Is that what that croquette is?
Yeah, and then they fry them, right? So it's kind of like a deep fried ball of like, it's like ham. You can have chicken too, but like they ground ham with like spices and stuff like that, and then they'll deep fry it. So it's like a little like nugget.
Yeah, this place has a variety of empanadas, which I thought were more like I thought that was more South American, more like Peruvian, but I guess it's one of those dishes that you can find. It's like
it's just the vehicle to hold the protein in the same way that you're going to get dumplings all over Asia. You know, in Latin America, you're going to get
tamales. Tamales are everywhere, right? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of avocados. You got a lot of plantains and all these islands and stuff like that because of because of the tropical nature of that. So, you're cooking what's around you. You got a lot of pork, in all these countries and stuff like that. Meat is harder to come by. Pigs are easy and cheap.
You have any interest in ever trying to go to Cuba, visit Cuba?
It's complicated.
I know you
for
can't.
Me, it's complicated. For anybody else, it's less complicated.
Oh, interesting. This is a story I'll have to have with you in person.
Yeah. Well, I'll sit down and I'll fill you in on everything. But my family came over in the early 60s. It's weird.
Yeah. It's not like Vietnam. Like in Vietnam, everyone that came over, it doesn't matter what happened when they were in Vietnam. Everyone can just go back now. It's like there's no rancor, there's no bad feelings. Like it's not the same in Cuba, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's weird. All right, give us one more name before you hop. One more name on the radar for the year. Big picture.
NBIS and Path.
Okay. All right. I love it.
No Strazza today? I don't get any Steve.
Dude, Steve, Steve is I think he's doing his water aerobics. He goes to these senior living facilities and he does water aerobics with the locals there.
Yeah. I was just in Vegas for 2 days at CS. He said he almost came out there. So
I know.
I'm a finfluencer, JC. You didn't know that, did you?
I didn't know that. Like this CSI. What is it?
It's the Consumer Electronics Show.
CES.
It's super lame. It's for nerds, right? There's nothing for us to do out there. It used to be great back in the 90s when it corresponded with the AVN Awards, which is the Adult Video Awards, because they had their convention right next door. And you could go between, but that left a few years ago. So I just went out to see friends and go hiking and, Vegas.
Dude, strategically planning your conference next to the porn awards is, for such a nerd convention. One time I was in Mumbai for one of these nerd conventions, more financially oriented for that matter. And in the same hotel, they were doing the photo shoot on like the Miss India pageant. And so like, we're like in the conference and I'm like looking out the window and like all these ladies are in bikinis kind of like doing the thing. And like, these guys are like pretending it's not happening. Right? I'm like, yo, are you seeing what's going on out there? And they're like, no, JC Parets, no. I'm like, dude, this is unbelievable.
Is that your Mumbai accent right there?
Jesse Parets of All-Star Charts.
So the Thursday flight out of John Wayne is always traditionally been called the stripper flight because you always get these lovely ladies to go out and work the weekend in Vegas, come back on Monday. When you would go on CES that Thursday, like I'm not kidding. Like everybody on that flight was a pro, and they would be at these same big parties that Bill Gates was at, and all these tech guys. I mean, it was just it was a gold mine for them. But they've switched. Now the AVN Awards are later in January, so I'll be going out back then.
How unfortunate.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Brian Lund, a man of the people, bringing us the boots on the ground information that we all need to know to improve our portfolios. Thanks for dropping by.
See you next time.
Adios. Brian Lund, legend, OG. Brian Lund is in the category of the OGs.
Brian said CES is lame and boring. There's cool stuff all the time there. That's where they unveil like their like moonshot. Riley's there right now.
Yes, but you're a nerd. So for you,
no, I don't think I am. I think like that's where they show.
Didn't you go to the Warren Buffett convention? What's it called?
Yeah,
Berkshire Hathaway shareholder meeting.
Yeah, that was cool too. But
nerd alert.
CES is where like they have the robots and your flying helicopter for your bathroom, right? Like all the cool,
Oh, you're flying helicopter for your bathroom.
yeah, all the stuff that doesn't exist yet, just in theory.
I would like to go to that. That sounds cool.
Yeah, Riley's there now. I think Riley's going out today. I think
We should get Brian to come in and see what the hell is going on.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of what's going on here, it is 9:27. We'll open in a couple minutes. Mary sent over a few charts. She has been looks like pretty active in the rangefinder these past few days or weeks. We got some interesting charts here. So let's bring out Mary, and then we'll see what she's doing. All right.
Nice.
Yes. Let's do that. As soon as I find my Mary bumper, there it is.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Good morning, Mary. How are you?
Doing well, thank you. I see that we're sporting the gear today.
Oh yes.
We've got the stock market media gear, and then we've got the University of Miami gear. So kudos, JC, to you. Thank you for taking out my Ohio State Buckeyes.
Don't forget where you come from, Mary. You can't forget where you come from.
I hear that. So congratulations. It was an exciting game.
Dude, this is the biggest game for Miami that's not a national championship game ever. So think about it like this. The most important non-national championship game in the history of University of Miami football. That's crazy.
No pressure.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing well. So we'll see.
I'm excited for it. So charts that I brought along this week. So into Christmas, last part of the Christmas holiday, I was actually digging into financials of all places. This is not a place where I typically shop. I usually like to be in the speculative tech and the crypto, and it just chart after chart after chart kept looking so nice. So the first one that I brought along is the FUTU. And this one I jumped as it was coming through the VWAP anchored from the highs back from November. So I jumped this one roughly at around 175-ish. And so for me, it's going to be those pivot lows from just a few weeks ago. That's going to be my out. But if you are of the more traditional mindset, obviously we've got overhead supply up at 200, but this is a huge base. And
this is like the Chinese Robin Hood?
Something like that. Yeah, something based out of Hong Kong. It's just been really nicely coiled here for the last couple of weeks. And, we've talked about bull market, financials. And so this one had been on my radar, like I said, as it was going through that VWAP. I took a position. I'll probably even add more to it as if we get up and above 200 and continue going onward and upward. So this is this one I'm involved with. But because it was Christmas, I was super busy with what is it you say? I've got hundreds of kids. So I was doing all the mom things and my brain was not really in the markets. So what has happened is I feel very out of touch. And when this happens, I talk to a lot of our members that feel this way. If you feel this way, please reach out and let me know. But I don't exactly know where to get started again. And so one of the first things I do is I listen to the morning show. I want to hear what you guys are talking about. And then I go into Rangefinder. And Rangefinder is such a great, useful tool because it has all of our research, all of our trade ideas, but the secret sauce is being able to filter by what exactly you want to shop for that day. So let's take the financials again. So in Rangefinder, I have the financial sector just filtered, and I'm also sorting by show me the trade ideas that are right at that entry level, whatever level we have defined as maybe it's, a breakout above resistance, or it's a Fibonacci extension, whatever the case may be, that's the level we're most interested in. So
you're sorting by proximity to ideal entry point?
Exactly. So we've got a couple of hits here. And I wanted to bring up the Kubi chart, the Customers Bank Corp.
Yeah.
Great base here. Another financial that if we are above 76, where are we trading right now? Yeah, we're at 77 right now. I like this one long, great base, and easy to quickly shop for what you're wanting to buy on any given day in any given sector or any given industry. So this one is not one that I own, but one that I am probably looking to own here very soon. Same thing with materials. You guys were talking about materials earlier in the show. So here it is again, sorting by the sector basic materials. I've got the entry as the price details that I want to sort by proximity to the entry. And one of my favorites popped up here. It's right at the bottom, MP Materials. This was a winner for us earlier in the year. It's one that I've been looking to get back into. And what I love about the MP Materials chart is we had the nice breakout several months back, and we've retested right back to that key support zone. And granted, we've moved off a little bit from it now, but I mean, what a great entry to get into this great name that performed so well for us earlier in the year. Call it, above 50. I love this one to the long side, at least right back up to those former all-time highs, if not higher. I mean, materials in general, if you look at the XLB, huge base. And granted, obviously, a lot of that has to do with the gold and silver move that has been happening. But a lot of
not as much as you'd think, Mary.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, not as much as you'd think. There's other companies in there that, are really driving this. I mean, like Lund, you're looking at chemicals, Sherwin-Williams, which is a Dow component, is in there, Eco Labs, right? So granted, you've got your Vulcan Materials and your Freeport-McMoRan and your Newmont, but there's a lot of other stuff happening in there. In this case, you're looking at rare earth metals. I like, the fact that you're seeing all these new highs, right? Most amount of new highs in the S&P 500 in over a year. A lot of stocks are making new highs, but there are some stocks that have pulled back. Strazza was talking about the software names earlier. Here's another group of names that have pulled back that if you're looking for rotation rather than buying into the strength, it's a good place to look. I like that.
Yep, absolutely. And speaking of software, that's another interesting area that I have been poking around in and going shopping. So this time I brought a screenshot actually of our Breakout Multiplier members area, because we've got something extra spicy going on with Steve and Breakout Multiplier, and that is our squeeze engine. And just like what I was doing with the trade ideas from our premium side of All-Star Charts research, we can filter the same way through the squeeze engine through various sectors and industries. And so just out of curiosity, as I heard you guys talking about software, I put in the software filter and started to get a variety of hits. Now, these are looking for the squeeze that is going on. So we're looking for compressed volatility. And so that first name right at the top is a great looking chart on the daily. I brought that chart along. That is the compass. And actually, as I'm looking at this on my chart right now, I have missed this move. I had an alert set at 11, and evidently we opened through that. I'm not sure what was happening pre-market.
Above it. Yeah, look at that thing.
Dang it. I just missed it. Dang it.
Up 9%.
Yeah. Nice move.
What a move.
Yeah. So I was very excited to get into this one today if the alert had triggered, and I obviously missed it. But above 11, we've had several days of this just tight compression. This is a software stock, like I said, and above 11, I like this for the next move higher. And huge base below it to support, the fact that the base is in, and we're ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, look at the this thing just started selling off immediately after it went public, right? Literally went public and then lost. Let's see, it went public around 20 and then went straight to under 2. So it lost over 90% of its value as soon as it went public. This is the Compass Inc. The 61.8% retracement of that entire move down gets you to 1430. And right now we're sitting at 1160. So look for maybe a gap and go here.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's, like I said, when I have been kind of out of the market, been on vacation, something like the holidays where I've been in mom mode and just not really paying attention, it's the very first thing that I do is I listen to what you guys are saying on the morning show, or I'm reading some of the emails. Where are you guys poking around in, or what are you guys highlighting? And then I go to Rangefinder. And the great thing about our research is we've been doing it for years. We've got a ton of ideas, and there's always something right at that entry level that is ready to go. It's the market. There's tons of opportunities. There's always something to buy. and rangefinder.
All right, guys,
helps
give
you
Mary a
find
call if
them.
you have any questions on all that stuff. No, I appreciate that, Mary. Nice ideas. I like that. I like that
Thank you.
compass. Kind of with you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kinda
Mary
spicy.
always brings charts. We're like, oh yeah, that should probably buy that. That looks pretty good. Right, yeah,
Mary,
yeah.
well,
I try.
she's looking at. I mean, she knows where to look, right?
Right.
Our research.
She just showed. But
pretty
nevertheless, Mary, that Israeli software. Take a look at that. There's some ideas in there. I'm getting a lot of pushback.
All right. I'll go hunting.
All right. On that note, let's get out of here. It is Wednesday. Kenny's going live at 11. Sean's going live. What are my options at noon? Jeff Mackey's going live at 1. Is it time to buy Nike? This is the question Jeff is asking, or Jeff is answering. I'm asking. He's answering. 1 o'clock today, and then 5 o'clock today, Eastern Time. Riley live from the Consumer Electronics Show in Vegas, telling us all the cool stuff that he saw. So big day for us here on the channel. Thank you for watching on YouTube, whether you're watching there or on Twitter or on our site. We appreciate all of you. Have a great rest of your day. Go make some money. All right.
Adios.
Bye, guys.
I can't take no